This main event was once a sea of over 700 tables. Now just 21 tables remain. And tonight, they'll play host to some very interesting matchups. Chino Ream sits near the top of the leaderboard.
Playing poker here.
The reward for his efforts? How about a seat with one of the game's best, Mike Matasso?
I'm playing at an amazing level.
I'm good enough to beat the best in the world.
Brandon Cantu's been besting opponents with his aggressive play.
Check this fluff out. There's just nothing at the table that I'm missing.
But how will Cantu handle having a brat right next to it?
No, you just don't believe this. You know me, Phil Hellmuth.
Die. It's what I did.
Top pros will face the new faces. Up-and-comers will battle with some of the best in the game. All will try to dominate their tables and move one step closer to the final table. Day 5 starts now.
Yes! Yes!
Welcome once again to the main event of the 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Slide. I'm Lon McCarron, along with Norman Chad, as the race for a world championship continues.
We're going to get it done.
189 players remain, and it's a field that still includes 11 World Series bracelet winners, headed by 11-time winner Phil Hellmuth. And today, the former world champ is seated next to another bracelet winner, Brandon Cantu. At table 2, we find an interesting threesome: 5-time bracelet winner Alan Cunningham, one of the 5 women remaining, Tiffany Michelle, and established pro Michael Carroll. And the interesting matchups continue at our featured table, led by 3-time bracelet winner Mike Matasso.
As good as the mouth is, he usually plays better and plays louder at the main event. David Chino Ream is aggressive at the table and admits he sometimes has his own Mike Matasso blowups.
I know we're going to have a fun table today. We're not going to all just be quiet and then well, we got David. We got me and David. We don't got nothing to worry about. And just think, if I double up, how much more fun we're going to have.
Matasso is a short stack, has his work cut out for him. Chino was one of the leaders in this tournament, as is Christian Dragomir from Romania. And as we look at our E-Trade financial chip count, you see Jeremy Joseph, who took the lead on day 3, still tops the field as day 5 begins. David Chino Ream just outside the top 5. Hellmuth and Matasso with a lot of work to do. Also seated at our featured table, one of the 5 women remaining, Kara Scott, a former high school teacher, now a TV commentator on the European Poker Tour. And on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam, Kara looks down at Jack Trey and will fold.
I could watch her fold all day.
Mike Matasso now with ace-queen offsuit.
Seeing Mike Matasso clean-shaven is like seeing Paris Hilton fully clothed.
Mike Matasso will raise it to $27,000. He won a bracelet earlier in the World Series. On to Fee Wynn, who was host at the Hawaiian Gardens Casino near Los Angeles.
When Wynn won his first bracelet in 2003, Matasso finished 3rd.
With pocket nines, he's going to re-raise to $72,000.
Mullen.
And Matasso is going to push.
All in.
With ace-queen, action back to Fee Wynn now.
Wynn has cashed 14 times at the World Series, all in Hold'em events.
I call.
He figures the math, and he does call. Matasso now at risk. A coin flip for his tournament.
I knew it was a coin flip.
Well, the new Mike Matasso is big on the power of positive thinking. He could use some right now.
So Fee Wynn with a chance to knock off one of the top pros.
I ain't worried.
That's Mike's new mantra. All right, here we go to the flop.
Boom!
It is 8-6 deuce. Swing and a miss for Matasso.
Now the mouth's got to be worried now. Win a 3-1 favorite to knock him out.
We got it. I got the power.
He's not worried. All right, turn card now. Oh! Matasso hits his queen.
You got it right here, baby. Right here. I told you. Right here, baby. Yeah. Right here, boys.
Matasso now can only be knocked out by a river 9.
River card is a 7, and Matasso will double up.
That's right.
And the mouth with another quiet and low-key double up.
Courtesy of Fee Wynn.
How y'all like it now, boys?
I don't think Fee Wynn likes it much, but he takes it in stride.
I'm not gonna lie, you're not one of the people I want to see with chips, buddy. You know.
I don't blame you. Not behind you, that's for sure.
The mouth always has talking chips, but as we begin day 5 of the main event, Matasso now has everybody better watch out chips. Thousands began this journey toward poker fame and fortune. Now well under 200 remain. And Norman, with the field so concentrated with talent, the matchups at various tables could lead to some explosive action.
Well, we're going to see chip leaders and young upstarts against seasoned pros and savvy veterans. Plus, I love the dynamic duo at our featured table. Chino Ream makes pleasant conversation and is hoping to make this main event his coming out party. Mike Matasso makes unpleasant conversation and is hoping to make this main event an affair to remember.
Mike's tables are always memorable.
Guys, I'm going to tell you, I know it's coming. You don't understand. You see, in life, I'm going to teach you something. Cards have brains, okay? I didn't know this till about 4 months ago. They come to positive people and positive thinking. They find their way. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but this time I knew they were coming a little bit quicker. What did I say after that flop? Right? Was I standing up? What did I say? Like, boom. It's coming. Boom, right? That's right, baby. Because I know.
The mouth is now giving out life lessons for free, but I want to remind you, they're free.
From the loud mouth to table 2, we find the very quiet Alan Cunningham, right now an observer of Michael Carroll, who's in a hand with Alex Althred. Althred leads after pairing his ace on the flop. Now the turn card is a deuce. Althred earns the check mark. That board totally missed Michael Carroll. Althred bets out $85,000. Carroll now, Las Vegas pro. Drawing dead is going to raise to $185,000.
Carroll raised pre-flop, bet the flop, and now takes one more stab at this pot with nothing.
Come on.
And Althred is going to come over the top and try to put Michael Carroll all in.
Well, that's for all of Carroll's chips, and that's going to shut down the Michael Carroll Midsummer Bluff Tour.
Yep, Michael says oops and does give up the hand. Althred, a Los Angeles poker pro and coach, will take that pot.
Carroll's got a lot of heart. He'd prefer to have a lot of chips.
Yeah, he's under $200,000 now. Let's head out into the field where we have another interesting table matchup. There is bracelet winner Thomas Keller, who is at the same table as former chip leader Jeremiah Smith. Smith currently involved in a hand with Helga Peterson. All the cards on the board. Smith putting out a bet of $100,000.
Smith has had a problem ever since he had the chip lead. The other guy always has a better hand.
I'm on it.
Peterson moves all in, and Smith calls, shows a set of sixes. Peterson, though, shows a set of aces.
Oof. You know, at least when you're a blogger, as Smith was, nobody ever beats you set over set.
At a nearby table, Brandon Cantu contemplating a bet from Phil Hellmuth on the turn.
God, for some reason, I just want to win this pot right now. I'm going to show it to you. Deuce 3 offsuit. But I'm going to show it to you.
If that's deuce 3 offsuit, I'm the Queen of England.
Cantu makes the call. And they will see a river card. And it is a 7 of hearts. Cantu checks.
Sixes. Of course, that's not good.
Phil has pocket sixes. Cantu, though, will win it with a better 2-pair.
Cue the Phil Hellmuth rant of background music.
Cantu may have just lit the fuse on Hellmuth.
We're all waiting, Phil.
With jacks and queens, I got to have sixes.
Cantu's hyper-aggressiveness should be an interesting matchup with Hellmuth.
Phil taking it out on his chip stack again. Come on, buddy. They've never done anything to you.
They're going to run over the guys that just move in, and they're going to run over Phil Hellmuth.
Remember,
I don't make many promises. Yeah, I know, buddy. You were in great shape. You just keep hitting your jack 8.
Phil's got to stop holding his feelings inside line. He's just got to let it all hang out.
Phil started the day with more than 500,000 chips, takes a step backward there. To the featured table, where another mouth is still reveling about his recent double-up, but silently, Mike Matasso will not play that hand. And action folds the fee win, and he will release it. On to Christian Dragomir. He shows 10-4 of clubs.
Dragomir says he's the best-known poker player in Romania. Not if I move there.
He raises it to $27,000. Kara Scott, ace-4. She'll give it up. Action now on Chino Ream. He's in the small blind. He looks down at ace-king.
I'm going to raise.
Chino made a final table in the bracelet events this year and the mixed hold'em event. And Chino
60 more.
is going to make it 60,000 more, 87,000 total.
He likes ace-king, heads up.
An aggressive player in the small blind with a big hand. That might work for him. Back to Dragomir now.
Dragomir caught with his hand in the capitalist chip jar.
But he's still going to re-raise. And he's going to make it 237,000 to go.
Dragomir had raised on the button. Chino sensed it was a button raise and came over the top.
You really want to play a big one, don't you?
And Dragomir's saying, hey, buddy, I've got a hand. And, of course, he doesn't. He's just got moxie.
A whole lot of moxie to re-raise one of the biggest stacks in the room with just 10-4.
All right, you got it.
And Chino's going to fold.
Ace king. Ace king. Ace king.
And Dragomir shows his audacious bluff.
So, and that bluff might lodge itself into Chino's psyche.
A big bluff and a big win by Christian Dragomir. And with that, the Romanian is now the tournament chip leader.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah.
No one to play with. So play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
You folding?
The 2008 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Shop WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Get free shipping on gifts for your poker fan at ShopWSOP.com. The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, main event.
Back at the Rio and right over to table 2, a hand developing between a couple of friends, Alex Althred, who has pocket fives, and Tiffany Michelle with pocket aces. 200,000 in the pot already. To the flop we go. It's 8-5-9. Althred takes the lead with a set of fives.
Althred is a poker coach at the World Series of Poker Academy. He teaches people how to hit a set on the flop.
He's very good at that. He bets 150,000 with it.
I get 400.
And a re-raise.
If I have that.
I'm all in.
And Alex re-raises Michelle all in.
The 400 sounded good when she said it. I think she wants it back.
Tiffany looks like she can't believe what she's got herself into now.
Did you really hit your set?
You know I'd play the 6-7 of clubs.
Well, whether he hit a set, which he did, or had 6-7 of clubs, she would be all but dead.
I call.
She calls, and she will put herself at risk and find herself way behind.
Tiffany all in. She was getting 5-1 on her money, and she was pot committed. Tough to lay down, I guess, but now she is all but out of here.
Turn card now, and oh my! A set of aces for Michelle.
Things change.
And she is stunned and speechless.
It happens.
Althred would now have to hit the last 5 in the deck to knock out Michelle.
River card is a king, and Tiffany Michelle will double up.
It's poker.
It's poker, Lon.
Now, Miracle Ace will keep Tiffany in the main event.
Sorry, Alex.
It's all right. There have been worse travesties at this tournament.
Well, if you had to ship it to anyone, are you kind of happy you shipped it to me?
Absolutely.
Well, they might be friends, but at the moment, I believe Alex would rather ship those chips to Mars.
Let's head back out to the field and check in on Gus Hansen, who looks troubled, but he always looks like that. He's at the same table as former chip leader Jeremy Joseph, but right now, Gus is wondering what to do about a bet by Suresh Prabhu.
Hansen 61st at the main event last year, and he's aiming higher in 2008.
He started the day with $1.3 million, and he will give up that hand and pot to Prabhu.
He still could use a shave and a schwitz.
At another table, Victor Ramden also looks a bit stressed, fretting over the all-in of Dan Asor, who does not look stressed at all.
Poker's a funny game. One guy eats a sandwich while the other guy is chewing himself up.
Ramden has Asor covered.
And the thing is, Asor asked for the sandwich with no mayo. It came with mayo, and he is still enjoying it.
Asor from Caracas, Venezuela. Will get that pot from Ramden as Ramden folds.
See, and the sandwich comes with chips.
All right, let's once again go over to find Phil Hellmuth.
Honey, I'm all in.
Yeah, you heard him. He's all in after the flop against Brandon Cantu.
And Phil approaches his beleaguered support group.
Phil looks pleased with himself, though, with his all-in.
Show the bluff.
Cantu folds.
Fold it? Yeah, I'm going to show you a bluff right.
Honey folded.
Helmuth's table mates keeping Honey abreast of the situation.
Phil has rebounded quite nicely, up to 650,000 now, a bit below the average in the room, which is at 774,000. Back to our featured table, and Mike Matasso, who of course doubled up a little bit ago, looks down at King 6 and folds. Action around to the new tournament leader at the main event, Christian Dragomir. Dragomir with pocket 4s.
Dragomir has a show about poker on a local TV station in Bucharest. I wanted that job, but they said I didn't translate well into Romanian.
Dragomir raised it to 30,000. Chino Ream with pocket 8s.
In the small blind.
And he makes the call. Owen Crow, ace 6 in the big blind, 25 years old, from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
That means he's Canadian, and that means he's nicer than the rest of us.
And he does call for 18,000 more. 3 players will see the flop. Flop is Trey, 7-4. Dragomir comes up big with a set of 4s. Ream did not improve his 8s, and he checks. Crow with a gut shot straight draw, he checks. Dragomir now with that set. We'll make it 75,000. Chino Ream sees 3 undercards on the board and calls.
Remember, Dragomir showed Chino a bluff not too long ago.
Crow gets out of the way, so heads up to the turn. Turn card is a queen of clubs. No help to Chino Ream. Dragomir still leads. Chino checks again. Christian Dragomir now with a bet of 165,000.
Chino says he's gotten really good at reading people. That skill would help right now.
But a misread there as Chino makes the call. And he's way behind, going to the river. River card is another 4, and Dragomir hits quads. Chino checks again.
Dragomir's taking a good look at Chino.
Dragomir now bets it $250,000.
Well, if Chino thought he had the best hand after the flop and turn with pocket 8s, he certainly might think he has the best hand now.
I don't know what you got. I play bad.
Chino calls.
Chino makes the call.
Dragomir shows the quads.
Boy, those were angry pocket 4s.
Dragomir nicks Chino again.
Worked out for him.
How do pocket 4s get so mad?
Nice hand.
So Dragomir drags another pot, and Chino Ream's once huge chip stack has sprung a leak.
I guess I could get off it on the turn.
I don't know about the turn. On the river, I think for sure.
Must be the 10th-4.
No, it had nothing to do with it.
That has nothing to do with it, I promise you.
Shake it off there, David.
Matasso giving calming advice to someone. Norman, are we in the right universe? This Poker Fact is brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. With 3 of a kind after the flop, there's a 1 in 3 chance of making a full house or better. Talk about the rich getting richer. Back inside the Rio, there's the World Championship bracelet that you can see awarded to our winner on November 11th. Chino Ream started the day as one of the top 10. He's taken a bit of a hit thanks to Christian Dragomir. This is the Romanian's first main event. Until recently, he was headed down a more traditional and expected path in his homeland.
Until 18 years ago, Romania was a communist country. The basic idea is that you have to work hard enough, integrate into the society, and then have a decent future. I was working at my father's construction company, but still, I wanted to do something for my own. We got into a fight. I decided I don't want to be part of that company anymore. I wanted to prove him that I can do something by being smart. So I picked up on poker. He was very disappointed, of course. He has been working for 35 years now, and he's enjoying his work. And I'm just trying to explain him that I find the same joy in poker. He does believe me now, but still, he wants me back. So I could be the world champion, and my father would not approve with that.
Dragomir did win the Romanian Poker Tour main event in 2007. He is 29 years old.
Over to table 2 now, where Tiffany Michelle is in a hand with Robin Larson. Tiffany's pocket deuces are trailing Larson's pocket 5s after the flop. Almost 300,000 in the pot. It's a 6 of clubs on the turn. Larson's 2 5s still lead, plus he added a straight draw, and he checks.
You know, if Tiffany pulled the brim of her cap up, she might be able to see what's going on.
I'll go all in.
And Tiffany is going to re-raise Larson all in.
I think I have you beat. But...
You are correct, young man, but this is for all your chips. Larson with pocket 5s and an up and down straight draw.
Larson from Sweden will fold. Wow, Tiffany very determined with those deuces.
Tiffany Michelle plays big stack poker, and it works.
And Tiffany on a nice roll over there at table 2. Let's head out to the field and check on another one of Tiffany's friends, 2006 Player of the Year, 2-time bracelet winner Jeff Madsen on the river. Puts out a big bet to Justin Sadauskas, the Chicago pro.
Sadauskas finished 86th at last year's main event.
Sadauskas makes the call. Madsen shows 9-5 high, and Sadauskas with trip queens.
So that was trip queens against 9 high. I like the 3 queens line.
3 queens will take that pot.
Honey, I'm all in.
That's Barry Leventhal letting Phil Hellmuth's wife know he's all in. Action on Hellmuth.
I know you guys.
Best player in the world against the worst player in the world.
Hey, Phil, you might have a new friend. He just called you the best player in the world.
Big decision for Hellmuth.
What would Gus Hansen do in this situation? Gus, what would you do?
Oh, Gus happens to be nearby.
What Gus do? I know what Gus would do already. You moved on for $3.99.
That's right. $3.99. I have a feeling what I might do.
You're no kidding.
Phil Hellmuth making a decision for most of his chips.
Can you beat a bluff?
Oh, yeah.
In your head.
Ooh, a little Jedi mind trick against the master.
Hellmuth gives it up. Phil shows queen 7 of diamonds, straight and flush draws.
What's up, Alex? Show it or don't show it.
Leventhal does not show, but he'll take that pot.
That's why he's the best in the world, and you guys are...
Barry Leventhal has a unique understanding of Phil Hellmuth's world.
Gus would have called right away. Oh, my God.
Well, Phil pretty much treading water today. Now over to Thomas Keller, formerly known as Thunder Keller, before losing over 200 pounds. His King 10 way behind the pocket aces of Alan Gould. And now the flop, and Gould gets another ace, and Keller's all but out of here.
Keller won his bracelet in 2004. This is the first time he's cashed in the main event.
Turn card. Oh, Keller with a straight draw.
Keller with a glimmer of hope. He needs a jack for a straight to stay alive.
River card. Oh, is the jack. Keller doubles up.
That is an unconscionable bad beat.
I'm really sorry. Wow.
Keller was a 49-1 underdog after the flop. He could win the main event now.
That's officially the worst suck out I have ever done.
Oh, my. Thunder Keller catches 2 bolts of lightning in a bottle there. Take a seat, Thomas. You still have a shot. Back inside the Rio, a look at our E-Trade financial chip count. Christian Dragomir still the chip leader. Mike Matusow, after that earlier double up, sitting right on the chip average. Phil Hellmuth low on chips, but trying to get something going in a hand with Aaron Gordon here. All the cards out. Gordon has bet $35,000.
This is the deepest Hellmuth has made it in the main event since he finished 27th in 2003.
Phil makes the call. And shows pocket 6s. And he's reaching for the chips. But Gordon's going to win the hand with pocket 10s.
Phil thought he'd won the pot.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, this isn't good. This just can't be good.
The guy just slow rolled me. It's not bad enough that I'm making world-class laydowns so you don't understand. The guy just slow rolled me.
Aaron Gordon, a little slow turning over the 10s.
Can we issue warnings for slow rolls?
I don't know if it's a violation of the rules, but it's an ethical situation. People just need to have respect for other players.
I mean, obviously it's an ethical situation, but I mean, I don't even think he understands.
No, Gordon is English. He speaks English, so I believe he understands.
All right, to another table, Jeremy Joseph, who has dropped over 1 million chips today already, in a hand with Gus Hansen. Gus just put out a bet of $186,000 after the flop. And now Joseph, and Joseph is going to push all in.
And there is that Gus Hansen squishy face of discontent.
Both of these guys started the day with huge chip stacks.
Why did I get myself into this?
Gus had called a big pre-flop raise from the small blind.
Hansen trying to make a statement here at the main event. And Gus will make the call. Joseph flips over ace-jack high.
I didn't move all in again.
My goodness, Joseph missed the flop, moved all in.
I knew they always...
Gus with queen 7.
Gus calls him with a straight draw. Mathematically, it's correct, but this is for most of Gus's chips.
Third card's a 6. Joseph still ahead.
Gus is going to need a 4, 7, 9, or queen to knock out Joseph.
And now the river card is a 10, and Jeremy Joseph doubles up through Gus Hansen.
Well, I can't believe either play we just saw there. I want to give Gus his chips back. He is in bad shape now.
Hansen's chip stack is gutted down to 187,000. Back to the featured table and Mike Matusow.
I played one hand so far. I'm 1 for 1. Nothing. I don't mind. I'm in it for now.
A clean-shaven nit, and he's been very patient to this point.
Action on main event chip leader Christian Dragomir. 5 deuce. He'll give it up. It's a Kara Scott now. 10-7 offsuit. She gives it up. On Chino Ream now. 8-6 offsuit.
Chino says he used to be an animal. Now he's just regular aggressive.
And that aggressiveness raises it up to 32,000 on Sean Davis. Pocket jacks.
A real hand in the big blind for Davis.
25-year-old full-time player from Atlanta. He'll go heads up with Chino Ream. 2 kings and a 4. The pocket jacks are still good for Davis. Davis checked. Chino bets 32,000.
Chino with a continuation bet. Lon, you know how in football the prevent defense prevents you from winning?
Yeah.
Well, I believe the continuation bet means that you will continue to lose more chips.
Davis calls another king on the turn. Davis with a check mark gets a full house.
It's a lot of Hollywood for 4 kings.
Not quads, but the next best thing, a full house. Davis finally puts in 100,000.
100,000. Raise.
And Chino announces a raise.
150.
150,000 more.
Chino continues down the same path. And I'll say this for him. I almost believe Chino has quad kings.
This is regular aggressive. And Davis will make the call with a full house.
That is bad news for Team Ream.
All right, now river card is a 10. Davis, of course, has the check mark with a full boat. And he checks this time. And a check from Chino.
Chino's chamber ran out of bullets wisely.
Davis takes the pot.
Good hand, buddy.
So Chino Ream tried to pressure Sean Davis, but Davis was holding the goods that time and sweetens his stack by more than 300,000.
I'm wondering if I could win if I fire the 3rd bullet.
Hell no. Hell no. I was praying you would.
That check saved Ream some chips, but he's still down 700,000 on the day.
The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, main event.
Back inside the Rio, where the Alabama Cowboy, Hoyt Corkins, has been eliminated in 162nd place. He was taken out by Ivan Demidov from Russia. Demidov now over 1.5 million chips. Over to table 2, Michael Carroll might be headed for the exit. He's all in and in trouble against Corey Albertson, both with a pair of jacks. Albertson holds top kicker.
Carroll dominated, dejected, and needing a king, or he's going home.
Oh, there it is!
Yes! Yes!
Michael Carroll stays alive and doubles up.
I never celebrate. I got to celebrate on that one.
Carroll told us earlier he always gets his money in with the best of it, but on that one, he needed luck big time.
And the best player got to suck out once in a while. God.
So Michael Carroll now just under 1 million chips. Back to our featured table where Chino Ream has had a rough day so far. Chino looks down at 9-8 of spades.
You are in, my friend.
Chino is going to call for 12,000. Action folds up to Matusow. He gives it up now to Sean Davis with pocket queens.
Jeez, if Davis is going to have a big pocket pair every time Chino is fooling around, Chino's in trouble.
He is in trouble, yeah. A raise from Davis now, 48,000. Dragomir folds back to Chino Ream now with his 9-8 of spades, and he will make the call for 36,000 more and go heads up once again with Davis to the flop. Flop is 9, queen, king. Davis with a set of queens. Ream paired his 9.
I like Chino, but it's hard to root for a guy who's always got 4% next to his name.
He checks. Davis bets 65,000 with his set.
Sean bets 65,000.
Chino got a part of that flop.
He's going to call with bottom pair and a couple of backdoor draws.
All right, hoping to get lucky on the turn.
Spew my chips away. Spew my chips away.
Got a good grasp of the situation. A tray on the turn. Davis earns the check mark. Chino checks.
190.
190,000 from Davis.
190,000.
He wins.
Chino will give it up now.
I believe that is a good fold.
He learned his lesson. Chino decides to suffer no more.
How big was that? Top set right there?
A middle set, one of the two.
One or the other.
And that good read comes as no surprise. Chino's learned a lot during his rise in the poker ranks, including how important a bracelet is after some missed opportunities.
Well, the first final table, I was nervous, and I didn't really fully grasp, like, how much a bracelet means.
Chino's bracelet will have to wait.
And this year, I'm disappointed that I didn't do better.
Chino was chip leader when the final table began. It just wasn't his best of nights.
How many times are you really going to have an opportunity to win on the bracelet? Most of the time, I'm in, like, 5th gear, and I'm just, like, going. No fear. The biggest lesson I've learned is to be a good tournament player, you have to know when to switch gears. Show the bluff. If you can't realize that, then, you know, you're not going to make it in tournaments. You know why I folded, honestly? Because I knew you had the nuts. I want to win this event. The $9 million is a lot of money, but I would give up a lot of that money to win this bracelet. I'm still in the tournament, so I have a shot. No matter what your stack is. If you're still in, you still have a shot.
Chino's stack is shrinking. If he doesn't shift gears soon, he's going to be out of the main event, and, well, then he can drive me and Kara Scott to dinner.
All right, to the field now, because the Great Dane Gus Hansen just called all in after the flop. Chris Crilly, an amateur from Southern California, poised to eliminate the top pro. You recall it was that earlier hand versus Jeremy Joseph that left Gus with under 200,000 chips.
And that was an ugly hand that crippled Gus. Even though that call was mathematically correct, I wish he had folded there.
Crilly shows his cards ace high with a gut shot. Gus leads with a pair of nines, but he's at risk. 2 cards to come. Turn card is a tray. Double gut shot for Crilly.
Keeps it interesting.
A 4, 8, or ace would end Hansen's day.
River card is the 8, and it's no longer interesting for Gus. Downright disheartening as he's been knocked out. Crilly puts the finishing touches on the top pro.
A disappointing day for Gus Hansen. He went from 1.3 million chips to no chips in short order.
Crilly will stack the remainder of Hansen's chips, and Hansen's bracelet hopes will have to wait yet another year. A lot of empty tables at the Rio. Only 159 players remain. Let's go to table 2. Tiffany Michelle up against Doris Suharto. Michelle has pocket queens. Suharto 7-6 offsuit. Suharto paired a 6 and picked up a straight draw on the flop. The turn card gives Tiffany a set of queens. Tiffany, first to act.
I assume she sees the spades, but she still wants to bet.
She'll make it 100,000. Action on the amateur Suharto. He's an accountant from Toronto, Canada. He also seems undeterred by the 4 spades on the board. And he is going to raise it up to 225,000.
Suharto gets fancy here. I don't like fancy.
Michelle with the call.
I don't see how Tiffany can see the board under there.
River card's another 6, and that gives Suharto trip 6s, but Michelle gets the check mark with a full boat. They both check. And Tiffany Michelle shows the winning full house.
Tiffany wanted to check raise there, but she'll take it anyway.
But nice hand.
Now with 1.7 million chips, she is shining on poker's biggest stage, but Tiffany Michelle has had lots of practice on other stages.
I was always a performer when I was younger. I was the youngest of 4, so I kind of always had to fight for the attention, so it was kind of a given that I was going to be like the little showstopper. Poker came about as the alternate income to when I wasn't working on film and television shows, and I started playing cash games with a lot of actors. A bunch of guys were like, hey, come to poker night. I was like, okay. The nice thing about acting at poker is that I don't feel like there has to be a choice. You're working on a film for 3 months. When the 3 months is done, you can go play poker. I've always found them to be a happily married couple. I started playing small buy-in tournaments, started having good results. And then last year I became the on-camera hostess for Poker News. For PokerNews.com, I'm Tiffany Michelle. This is my first 10K buy-in event, my first World Series of Poker main event. Do you have any advice since you've been here before? Everyone's shocked to see that I play poker because they recognize me as like an on-camera hostess for poker. I've learned and gained a lot in my game by seeing what not to do and hearing all the bad beats and hearing the mistakes. So, here I am.
She acts, sings, dances, plays piano and guitar, and she can play Jack-10 offsuit from under the gun. Who knew?
All right, let's go out in the field and see how some of the other remaining women are faring. That's Mina Riitakorpi from Finland, who celebrates winning a pot.
Mina was diagnosed with a brain tumor 2 years ago. She's been through chemo. She's a former anatomy and microbiology teacher.
Also collecting chips, Karen Manfredi.
Karen used to be a poker dealer. Now she's a poker pro from the L.A. area.
Elsewhere, we find Lisa Parsons from Franklin, Tennessee, contemplating calling all in. She's up against Keith Ferreira with all the cards out.
I call.
Parsons makes the call, and she flips over kings up, and Parsons will double up.
Today is Lisa's 36th birthday. She's a software consultant, but she's written several screenplays, psychological thrillers, like the main event, and she hopes to get one produced soon.
A happy birthday so far for Parsons. She has about 650,000 chips. So the 4 women in the field holding on to the feature table where the last of the 5 remaining sit. Kara Scott.
You're looking at the future Kara Scott, Chad.
Yeah, right. Action on Sean Davis on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam Ace Queen of Spades.
Davis, a former software consultant, graduated from Georgia Tech.
Raised to 38,000. Kara Scott now. 9-7 into the muck.
Okay, now she's folded once too often for me. I'm losing interest.
Chino Ream with a 10 of clubs and a 10 of diamonds.
All right, Chino finally has a hand against Sean Davis. Let's do it, buddy.
Chino will make the call.
Oh, I forgot about the mouth. Man, he's been quiet today.
Now quiet with 6-4. And they do go into the muck.
Let's go, Chino, Chino, let's go.
Davis and Ream.
Let's go,
Heads up.
Chino.
The flop
Chino,
is Jack-5 tray. Ream is best right now with 2 10s. Davis, though, with a flush draw and 2 overs, has the best chance of winning the hand.
What type of flop is that? Chino and I aren't in good shape anymore.
Davis bets 55,000. Chino
spew my chips away.
Comes along with those 10s.
Spew my chips away.
Is everybody going to sing while I'm talking?
You must have heard me.
5 of spades, pairs aboard, gives Davis a flush.
What type of turn is that? What is this, the Sean Davis show? I have no allegiance to this man, none.
Davis bets 140,000.
Getting a lot of hands, that's awesome.
Chino smells trouble.
Really getting that many big hands?
Yes.
Who is this guy?
Chino Ream thinks he's got a read on the guy.
Well, then Chino needs a better reading lamp.
Makes the call. River card 7 of spades. Davis earns the check mark.
Well, that card will probably save Chino money. A lot of spades out there.
It's 225,000 now.
Got 2 aces, ace of spades. Jack's full. Because I can't beat either of those, obviously.
Who is this guy?
It's one of those days, boys and ladies.
Davis has been holding over Chino today.
You probably had me pre, post, turn, and wherever you probably had me, and I'm just so bad I'm probably going to just pay you off. Sean, you have no idea how unbelievably bad I'm playing right now.
I do. Don't call, buddy.
I need a nap. Wake me up when you're ready.
You don't sleep on the feature table during the main event. That's rude.
Chino Ream gets away from it. And Davis will take another hand from the top pro.
Davis beating away on Chino. Chino takes it well.
I'm telling you that he's been dealt the friggin' deck.
That I can believe.
Yeah, he shook his head. You see that?
1,000% that I can believe.
Okay. If you think that he's firing into a guy who's spewing off chips, okay?
Who woke up the mouth? Spit it out, Mike.
I was big,
think
Mike.
you could beat.
I was big.
I don't care how big you were. I think I might have lost my reading ability a little bit, but I'm not that stupid.
Chino losing chips, and the mouth indeed is not that stupid.
All right, let's head over to table 2, where Alan Cunningham, who's taken pretty much a back seat today, is playing a hand with Tim Lockey. Cunningham made trip queens on the turn and bet 150,000. Lockey with a full house raised to 300,000. Action on Alan.
We haven't seen much of Alan, but there's a reason he's here. He's still that good.
Alan does make the call. And these two will see a river card. river is a 5 of hearts. Lockie earns the check mark with his full boat.
No check.
Allen checks. Lockie now, Chicago amateur. With the hand shaking, bets $300,000.
Oh, you messed me up on this hand. Thought you had something.
Well, Lockie is a World Series rookie, but he messed Allen up, I think, by checking the flop coyly when he hit his set. This is a tough one to lay down for Allen. Trip queens, good kicker, big pot.
Is Lockie holding his breath?
Looks like it.
Go ahead.
And Allen is going to fold. He lays down trip queens against the full house. That is the planter's good instinct moment.
Out. We're about to call the medic. You ought to need an oxygen tank or some paper towels. It was one of the two.
I couldn't bring myself to wait any longer because I wanted you to be okay.
I knew you were thinking. You weren't trying to hurt me, I don't think.
No, I'm saying I wanted to think longer. I just didn't want you to die.
Here's Allen Cunningham.
He makes great plays even when he loses.
The Planters' Good Instinct moment is brought to you by Planters. Instinctively good.
We play because poker's not a scratch-off ticket, a half-court jumper, or a knock on wood. It's no game of luck, poker. It's a game of patience and well-timed aggression. We know when we play, a little luck helps. But luck can't explain why final tables have so many familiar faces. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
The 2008 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Shop WorldSeriesOfPoker.com. Get free shipping on gifts for your poker fan at ShopWSOP.com.
Back inside the Rio Poker Room, let's go to an outer table and check in on Victor Ramden.
I hate this game.
Victor again contemplating a river bet from the formerly hungry Dan Asor.
Asor between meals at the moment. The pros all seem a bit bothered today.
Ramden makes the call this time. Asor flips over king high.
Yes!
Ramden celebrates. He paired his 10, is going to take a big pot there.
Good instinct there, and Ramden eats Asor for lunch.
Hope that sandwich doesn't make a U-turn on him. Ramden will stack the chips.
I love this game.
Oh, make up your mind, Victor. What a fickle, fickle man.
Now amongst the chip leaders with almost 2.25 million chips, Victor Ramden. Once again to Phil Hellmuth, who's mixing it up again with Brandon Cantu. Phil calls Cantu's 100,000 chip bet.
Hellmuth and Cantu becoming fast friends.
To the river they go. River's a 2 of clubs. Hellmuth checks it.
Phil has check called every step of the way.
Cantu pushes.
Call.
Phil makes the call and turns over 2 clubs for a flush. Brandon.
That's why I throw it away, boys.
Does not show.
That's why I throw it away.
Phil, of course, talking about his earlier laydowns that give him the opportunity to stick around and make this big call.
So Phil doubles through Brandon Cantu. And this time it's Brandon who's going to get up and take a stroll.
Not trying to put anybody on tilt, but I'm calling with the jack.
So Phil Hellmuth at 748,000 chips now. Over to former chip leader Jeremiah Smith, all in pre-flop with kings against the ace-queen of Hirt Jans. Jans turns a boat. Smith in trouble.
Smith has to have a king.
River card is a 10, and Smith is gone from the main event.
Nice answer.
A blogger a year ago, a great run at the tables in 2008 for Smith.
What a day, what a day. Second best hand every time.
Jeremiah lived a dream at this World Series, and that's the essence of the main event. Back to the featured table now, and nothing been going right either for Chino Ream. He's lost over 1 million chips today. Ream looks down at pocket queens, though. Maybe his luck's turning around.
I think we're back in business.
Raises 3 times the big blind to 36,000. Mataso with pocket 10s.
The mouth has stayed out of harm's way since doubling up.
Why do you want to mess with the faucet that's spewing?
I'm messing with you, for sure.
Mike does make the call. Action around to Sean Davis. Oh, my goodness. Pocket kings for Davis.
That's preposterous. It can't be. I want answers.
A re-raise to 140,000.
Wow. Chino Ream has run into a brick wall by the name of Sean Davis all day.
I'm all in.
And Chino, boy, you talk about spewing re-raises all in.
And now a disciplined laydown from the mouth.
Davis, of course, calls, and he puts Chino at risk, and Chino is way behind.
The biggest stand I've had all day. I knew he had to have a monster. I mean,
Chino started today with the 6th biggest stack, now all in.
Just one of those days, buddy.
You might win.
The deck has hit Davis, and Ream has hit the deck.
Kings against queens. The flop is a couple of jacks and a 6. Davis still ahead.
Only one club I don't want to see.
A horrible day for Chino, and his main event is just about over.
All right, one time the kid can get lucky. One time. One time.
Turn card. Oh, and lucky he gets. Chino hits his queen.
Come on!
he called it.
One time!
Just before getting knocked out, Chino Ream finally delivers a knockdown blow. Davis now needs a king to send Ream packing.
River card is a tray. Chino Ream will double up and stay alive in the main event.
Chino was all but out of here. Now his quest for the title is still alive.
What a blow to Davis. He did everything right, but couldn't dodge the queen.
Honestly, if I win this tournament, it's meant to be. That's all I got to say. If I win this tournament, it's meant to be. That's all I got to say.
Chino Ream finds new life at the main event. Mike Matusow made sure day 5 started with a bang.
He got the power!
The mouth then went quiet and watched Chino Ream lose pot after pot.
One of those days, boys.
Until he, too, got saved by the queen.
Come on!
Christian Dragomir has taken a back seat at the featured table, but still sits atop the leaderboard. And while former chip leader Jeremy Joseph has rebounded, Jeremiah Smith's main event came to an end. The 5 ladies are still rolling, led by Tiffany Michelle.
Whoa!
And Hellmuth and Cantu will continue on as well.
That's why I throw it away, boys.
145 players remain in the hunt. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. More day 5 still to come. Thanks for watching the World Series of Poker.